Hello and welcome to Dad's Ad Job. We are the original football podcast for dads by dads, and we are live on YouTube and X. I'm joined this week by my wonderful co-host Rob. Mate, how are we getting on? We all good? Has it been a good January so far for you?
Yeah, the 365 days of January are going well. I'm looking forward to the end of the month.
It feels like 360 days in January, doesn't it?
Yeah, January just feels endless. I just wish that they would divide all the months up equally into 28 days like a normal calendar should look like, or what I think a normal calendar should look like. Just 28 days for each month.
Like the Romans.
Yeah, apparently that's isn't that where the whole of April Fools comes from?
Possibly.
Because the beginning of the year was supposed to be on April the 1st, and then it was kind of like you're the fool because you forgot that the whole calendar's changed now, and blah 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 blah.
I don't know. I know that they put in an additional month because of Caesar Augustus, and then that's why we've got August in the calendar, because it's a month named after him.
But he's dead now, so surely we can.
Yeah, that was well before time.
Switch it up.
Well before time existed.
Yeah, just do something a bit different.
Yeah, man. So how's family life been?
Yep, all good. Busy. It's just busy at the moment. Alea is probably the most. Alea has probably got the most straightforward existence right now out of all of us. Just living her best life, and she's doing really well with the horse riding, and she's off the lead rope and that kind of thing. So that's been amazing. Kelly is just back to back because Ofsted is coming up, I think. So they've got that going on, parents' evenings and everything else. So that's crazy. Danny's taken up rugby again.
Oh, he has, has he?
Yeah, so he went to rugby last night, got absolutely soaking. Came back bloody nose, like tattered and weather beaten. But I think he really enjoyed himself, so that's great. And work from a competition perspective really picks up for me now as well. So the next few months are going to be pretty busy. So January didn't ease us in for us anyway. You know, January's nothing ever feels easy, but January definitely didn't ease us in. What about you? How's things going? You had a special day on Wednesday?
Yes, Wednesday. It's not known to the world, but yes, I had a very good day Wednesday. New chapter started, and things are going to be looking up. So yeah, I think things are good, and it's a big week in the Leatherbarrow household because it's Connie's 4th birthday on Sunday, and it's Kerry's birthday on Thursday. So it's two close birthdays for mum and daughter this week. So yeah, I'm going to be skint. But yeah, we've got Connie's party on Saturday, and we're doing a little mini disco, and that's what we're going to be doing. So yeah,
I'll slip a $5 in her card for you.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. Yeah, so I think things are looking up. What's the topic here? So we've got some comments. Dad life first, mate, and then we'll be talking about West Ham and then Arsenal and then laughing at Spurs and Man United. So do stick around. We will be talking some good stuff. But yeah, it seems as though we are a dad podcast. We have to talk about parenting because otherwise it'd be completely against the object of doing this podcast anyway. We can't just sit here and talk football all night as much as we'd like to, but we won't. It would be nice. So say that family life's good. Big week. Buddy's getting older now and getting a bit more stroppy and more vocal in his old age now, which is
as opposed to normal, yeah.
So that he never used to bark at the door or bark at the windows or whatever, and now he's like old man syndrome. It's like, who's that? So, who's that knocking on the door? I'm sleeping. So things like that. So yeah, it's been been good family life so far. So
good for you, mate. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Well, I just hope that 2026. We talked about it last time. I think 2025 was the year of the snake. So this is the year of the horse. We're stallions. We're going to thrive.
We can only just wish we were hung like
We could just walk on.
Is that you sing a Liverpool song then?
No, absolutely not.
Well, I was going to say a bit strange that you was going to sing a Liverpool song, because it is breaking news that West Ham are going to be releasing another song on behalf of this man right here.
I'll follow you through bad and good, on terraces of faded dreams. You'll never take the east end out of me, and you bleed claret and blue on any day the irons play. You'll never take the east end out of me.
Oh, yeah, so that is Joseph Jones, Hornchurch, born and bred West Ham fan, and he has released You'll Never Take the East End Out of Me on the 6th of Feb. And it is a song that is gonna be sung on the terraces 100%. It has got a good vibe about it. And who knows, it may be a rival to North London Forever. So what do you think, Rob?
I've listened to the song a few times actually. I saw it released and I watched the video because it had he sang to all of the West Ham legends in the video, didn't he? And
he did, yeah.
And I think that was Trevor Booking in the back as well, right? Was that
you've got Trevor Booking, George Parrish, Julian Dix, Dean Ashton, Tony Cottee, legends upon legends upon legends. Alan Kirbishley, another one.
Yeah, I saw. Honestly, there was some wonderful faces to see that, and it was nice to see because obviously, we're in our 40s or we're nearing 40, and so it's nice to see that people that we kind of, well, for me as a non-West Ham fan, people that we knew of and respected, even if we didn't necessarily have any.
Sorry, comment of the night. No, that isn't me singing. Love it, brilliant. Thanks, man.
But yeah, no, it's a lovely song. I think it's a nice song. I think there's a couple of lines that made me laugh. From bad and good, surely it should be bad and worse.
Bad and bad, from bad and bad.
And then also there is the faded dreams. Oh, there's so many. There must be so many faded dreams. There isn't a song.
Yeah,
there is a lyric that is more West Ham than that lyric there, I think. But
yeah, I mean that's why I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles is always a fantastic song. It's always about the near misses, the dreams that you hope to achieve, and they just fade and die, and then you go again, and basically it's like. It's a wonderful song for us, but it is a defeatist song, sadly, and it would be nice to have a song where we can sing a bit more positively. And I think it's just not forgetting who we are as West Ham fans, and I think it's such an important song, especially in a time where the club is divided thanks to the ownership. BS out, by the way, no more BS. Support the petition. But I think this song will unite our demographic as West Ham fans, because we are East End. We are proud. We've always been an East End club, whether it's on the outskirts of Greater London, borderline Essex, where West Ham was formed on the River Lee, and then swallowed up by London boroughs, Newham, in 1965. But yeah, there's things like that would always geographically would always remain in that part, unlike yourselves, Rob, who are Woolwich based and then ended up in North London to create that rivalry with Spurs. But I think with West Ham, it never take the East End out of me. It's fantastic for us.
It's so boring. It's just so boring. It really is.
And you're Woolwich, aren't you?
We're Arsenal. And where are Tottenham from? Because I'm pretty sure that they are outside the M25 at one point as well. But no, say no more. It's fine. Look, I mean, I think it's a lovely song. I don't really care for it being a rival to North London Forever so much. I just think it's a nice song. I think it's nice that West Ham fans have got a song that, you know, I'm not a fan of Forever Blowing Bubbles. I think it's a little bit cringe and I think it's a little bit embarrassing. Sorry, I do. And I think this song is a little bit more, I just feel like it has a little bit more meaning to it, personally. I think it has something that people can relate to a little bit more. I think almost that Forever Blowing Bubbles has kind of lost its... not lost its shine, but it's one of those things where you just say it now. It's like a mantra, isn't it? Like, you know, I can't think of a mantra off the top of my head, but it's just something that you sing. You know, like, I think it's nice they've got original songs. They're nice original songs as well. North London Forever, I think, became an Arsenal song. If you listen to the whole song, it's more about being from North London. And I think the song is beautiful. It's a beautiful song, but it became an Arsenal song. And they only really sing the chorus when they're at the Emirates because the whole song isn't relative and there's bad language in it. But, you know, this is purely been written as a love letter to West Ham, and it's nice. And I think more clubs should do it. I think more clubs should have original songs, and you know, he's just written the song, and it'll probably be adopted. You know, I don't know if he was like asked by West Ham to do it, or whether he just did it, and West Ham were like, "Yeah, we'll have that." But
it's worth noting that this song was recorded, I say, not in association with West Ham, but in association with the Dylan Tom Bides charity, which if people are not aware of Dylan Tom Bides, he was a West Ham youth player, Australian youth international, fantastic striker who had cancer and sadly lost his life at a very, very young age. Saying a charity was formed to help fellow cancer sufferers of similar age groups. And yeah, I think it's a great cause. I think, you know, and he's even come out on Twitter. So go and follow him, Joseph J. Jones, on Twitter, on X, on Instagram, and go and support the cause, even if you're not a West Ham fan. I think even if you're from that part of the world, as you are, Rob, because you are born and bred Newham, even though you don't support West Ham, you're still from that area. So I know it might be an affiliation with West Ham, but it probably is an affiliation with East London, as you mentioned about North London.
About the local community, isn't it? And it's a love letter to the community as much as it is to the club, and that's how I feel about North London Forever. Like I said, I think it'd be nice if it's the type of thing that it would be cool to see more clubs doing and having, like, you know, songs that are theirs, forever theirs, and people, you know, you grew up with Forever. You know, you grew up with Forever Blowing Bubbles. I don't ever really remember having like an Arsenal song. Like, I don't ever really remember one. I mean, of
Wonder
course,
of You, usually, wasn't it?
Pardon?
Wonder of You, wasn't it? That was always a Arsenal, an adopted song, wasn't it? Elvis.
But it's not like, I like that it's close to home. And I think that it's been recorded close to home, or it's been made close to home, and it's a love letter to the local area and all those types of things. And I think that's nice. I think people get so caught up about "You'll Never Walk Alone," and I get it in principle, but I kind of like that the West Ham song and the Arsenal song are kind of saluting what is there, as opposed to a song that's been adopted. I mean, it would be hard for any Liverpool songwriter to top "You'll Never Walk Alone." that would be a horrible task, because it is so fabulous and it is so iconic, but it's generic.
Yeah, and I mean, Celtic have got it as well, haven't they?
That's what I'm saying. So you couldn't, you know, you could only play North London Forever. Well, you could only play at Arsenal, right? I know in principle you could play at Spurs, but no Spurs fan's going to want that anywhere near their club.
Well, it has been played at Spurs, hasn't it?
The boxer
at the boxing, yeah. The Arsenal fan boxer.
Yeah, he walked out to it and then promptly lost. At least Arsenal have got a better record at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium than he has, I guess.
Well, you know what? You've just segued that right in again. But just before we go on to that segue, let me just play this song one more time, and then we'll go into that fantastic segue.
I'll follow you through bad and good on terraces of faded dreams. You'll never take the east end out of me and you. Bleed claret and blue on any day the Irons play. You'll never take the east end out of me.
So through that segue, there's only one person to mention.
Wilson, you stay. Goodbye, Wilson. Shalom.
West Ham have done it again. They've done it again. Beating Tottenham. They've done it again.
Before you get too excited, I would like to say that I really
finished for us now.
I really did. I did say I fancied West Ham to win. I went for the Desmond, but I did say I really thought West Ham could turn them over.
You did say that. Yeah, for the record, you did message me on WhatsApp after the prediction. You went, you know what, you fancy us. I had a feeling that we would step up for it. It
was nice not. You know what else? Can I just say quickly before you carry on, because this is all you. But it was really nice not to see Bowen on the score sheet. I think that would be good for the. I just think that would be good for the other players to think, okay, so it's not just Bowen who has to step up for us and get things done. Like we can step up and get things done. But anyway, crack on. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No, I think you're right in terms of we can't be heavily reliant on one player to get us out of trouble. And who's to say that he gets one injury and that is pretty much how season finished, isn't it? But it's nice to see that Tati Castellanos is showing a good work rate. Again, I've still got reservations about him. I hope he does well. I hope he proves me wrong, but I'm just not being. I'm not expecting much from his contribution to the team. A little, but I think it will be enough to form a team unity. I like Pablo. I think he's dropped down from his usual striking position to a kind of a false nine, linking up play. He's got a good level of strength on him. Holds the ball up well. Some people don't like him because he runs quite gangly. He's quite awkward looking, but I think he's got a bit about him. I'm not saying he's of the same ilk as the two players that I'm going to mention, but he's almost like a blend of Berbatov and Frederic Canute. It reminds me of that, the kind of nonchalant way of playing on the field, and I think Pablo can offer a lot of that, and still only 22 years of age, so he's got a whole career ahead of him. Somerville is starting to tick now, which is good. 2 goals in 2 games. Defence seems to be shoring up a bit, but we still need reinforcements. I mean, Wan-Bissaka coming back into the team. We've had 2 wins since he's come back, so it just proves that having that one player back is a massive upgrade. And we're going to have youth back shortly. I don't think he'll make the Sunderland game. I'm not too sure, because he's too busy celebrating winning the African Cup of Nations from Sunday. So whether he'll be available for Saturday remains to be seen. But also the talking point at the moment is that Lucas Paquetá, he's not playing. He's not involved in the squad. He's got a back injury. We'll go off that. But his time at West Ham is coming to a pretty sharpish end, despite committing just 4 months ago that he was going to be playing for us for the whole season. So things change. We haven't really seen the best of him. Wish him all the best. But we move forward, and beating Spurs is a big step towards survival. I say the fight is definitely on.
It's a like I said, it's a outcome that doesn't surprise me. It's a result that I kind of thought could happen. And I thought there'd be goals in the game. I don't know with Tottenham, they're so unpredictable, and to sort of showcase that they beat Dortmund on Tuesday, and
Yeah.
I know that Dortmund had 10 men, but they were already winning that game when Dortmund had 10 men. So it
Yeah.
wasn't like Spurs got lucky with a 10-man team. They were just better than Dortmund, and Dortmund aren't. Dortmund are a decent footballing side. They're not. Like turning up to Burnley at the weekend, which is a game I imagine Spurs could actually lose. Right?
Yeah.
It's not beyond the realm of possibility that Spurs beat Dortmund and lose to Burnley. So it's one of those ones where they're so inconsistent. But
Consistently inconsistent. That's what one of my friends says. He's a massive Spurs fan. Bradley Clark, shout out to him. Consistently inconsistent.
But they are consistently poor in the league.
Yeah.
So they could lose to Burnley at the weekend, which would be wonderful if they did, and it would make the bottom of the table a little bit more interesting as well. I think for the race for points. But even then, I just think Thomas Frank is on borrowed time. I don't.
It's such a shame. It's such a shame because he's a good. But what I've heard from Martin Allen on certain podcasts when he talks about Thomas Frank, because obviously he's got not only a history of West Ham, he's got a history of Brentford, and he's met Thomas Frank numerous times, and he says he's an absolute diamond. Like if you wanted someone to come in and just coach a squad with limited resources, he's that man. And I think the problem with Spurs is that the level of expectation is far greater because of the amount of money they're spending on the players getting in. I mean, they spent over £50 million for Kudus. They spent £40 million on Conor Gallagher last week. So if they're not hitting the ground running straight away, then the manager is under scrutiny straight away because.
But the problem with Tottenham, or what I personally think, they don't buy desirable players. I really don't think they buy desirable players. I do think Conor Gallagher is a good signing. To caveat that, but
they came close with Gibbs White in the summer, didn't they? I thought that was nailed on, and then
that would have been a good signing for them, but that fell through. Dom Solanke hasn't really shown his class yet because he's been
top forward, just got a Spurs shot on, hasn't he?
You look at the others. You look Kudos. Are you having him? I don't know what's happened to the boy that they were comparing to Saka for Kulusevski. I don't know what's happened to him. They sold Brennan Johnson, which is wonderful because I like Brennan Johnson, so it's nice to be able to be a fan of him again. Paulinho hasn't really worked out, even though it was meant to be like a fantastic signing, and he's a good player. But is he desirable? Bentancur has fallen off the face of the earth.
Just injuries with him, isn't it? That's his biggest letdown.
You've got Van de Ven, who probably doesn't want to be there, and Romero, who's incredibly unreliable, and a goalkeeper that flaps. I just don't look at any. And I've had this conversation with a couple of Spurs boys, and there's just nothing there that's desirable. And so when they do flop, there's nowhere for them to go. And I'm speaking from experience here because Arsenal had that situation as well, where they had to basically pay off everyone's contracts because they were so bad, and nobody wanted to pay for them.
It Kolasinac, wasn't it? And
there's so many that we paid off in the end. Ozil we paid off, or we ushered Aubameyang, Kolasinac, Mustafi, like all these players who we just let go dirt cheap or for nothing, because we just wanted them off our books because nobody else wanted them.
Yeah.
So I do see the predicament they're in, and I mean obviously I have no sympathy for them, but it's hard to know where they go because they've invested money, I think, in players that aren't great. Like they're not.
And again, it's just down to injuries as well, isn't it? Like they bought James Maddison, who I think is probably the most perfect player to play for Spurs, really. And again, it's just injuries have really, really ruined him, haven't they? And
there must be more to that. Because I remember when Arsenal were always injured, and Arsenal's injuries this season aren't great, but I remember when Arsenal were just losing players all the time, they got rid of the medic, and he went to Man United, and they sacked him because he was so bad.
And then what happened?
Well, I don't know where he is now.
Yeah, probably a vet.
But yeah, so
professional all along.
there must be more. There must be more to that at Spurs. There must they're going to have a look at that surely, because it is bad. Their injury record this season and in previous seasons is absolutely woeful. But yeah, they're so inconsistent. They beat Dortmund on Tuesday, but they could probably lose to Burnley at the weekend.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, West Ham sit 17 points, so we're 5 points off Forest going into this weekend. But if West Ham win, they got Sunderland, and Tottenham lose to Burnley, they're within 7 points. They're only a couple of losses after that, and it's they're in a relegation battle. So they've got to be careful. They've got to be careful.
But
if Van de Ven wants to leave, and they've already said it's going to cost £100 million for him to go, Real Madrid must be thinking, yeah, I'll take him. And I suppose they're not
going to take Konate now, are they? Willy Saliba's just signed a massive contract, so he's not going anywhere unless you pay triple figures.
So Van de Ven will probably be the next best thing. And then even, Bayern Munich might even go him through, because they love a Dutch centre back, don't they?
Thing is with Van de Ven, he is their best player.
Yeah, he's the better.
he's their most sellable as well. But again, if they sell him, where does that leave him? Because if I don't expect Thomas Frank to be the manager the next season, I think it could be anything from it wouldn't even surprise me if Glasner was there, which would be disappointing. But I just don't. I just think their squad is so bad. I think the squad is so bad. So I just think that they are in the same predicament that Arsenal were all that time ago, right? But Arsenal coped with that situation better.
Yeah.
So I just don't see how they. I don't see where they're going to. I just don't see where they're going to improve or how they're going to improve, because they haven't got any sellable assets. So
yeah, man. Yeah, interesting. So let's talk about Arsenal then. Let's just quickly touch on Callum Wilson coming on the 88th minute, getting his first two touches of the ball, gets one shot on target, which gets a corner out of it. And then his third and fourth touch of the game is a knockdown to himself and then kick it into the net. So he had 4 touches that game and scored a goal in the 93rd minute of the game to literally seal 3 points for West Ham. And I think if you're ever going to beat Spurs, I couldn't have picked a better player to get the winner and at that time of the game as well, to literally kill it and end it. So, fair play. I mean, I've been Callum Wilson's biggest critic even before he signed, and when he did sign, I wasn't particularly happy. But I said if he gets 10 games for West Ham this season, 10 goals for West Ham this season, I think he's done very, very well, considering how many games he's going to be playing, and he's already at halfway stage. So he's only 5 games off doing that, and I think he's only about 7 goals off hitting the 100 goals club for the Premier League. So he's got a bit of motivation in him for the rest of the season. He's
good coming off the bench for you. You wouldn't want him leading the line regularly for you, because just like he's older and he's injury prone as well, isn't he? Really, yeah. So you don't want him playing too much football. You just want him to come on and try and win a game for you. A bit like what you do with Soucek occasionally now. You bring him off the bench for impact rather than starting with him, because he hasn't got the legs anymore.
Yeah.
And that central midfield. Have you sorted out your central midfield issue yet, or did you sign the? I know you got someone in on loan, or you're looking at getting someone in on loan. We got in a Venezuelan unknown guy called La Madrid, signed from Venezuela, signed today. He's on loan, international loan, short term, with an optional fee of €1 million. Apparently he's not going to get much game time. Apparently they said he's going to be in development.
playing in the development squad to bed him in because he hasn't had a pre-season. I would just completely ignore this transfer ever happened because I don't see him actually playing for the club, and it's a David Sullivan helping a mate out sort of deal.
Okay.
So yeah, who knows? 2 weeks later, he'll probably score an hat-trick against Man United or something. So no, knowing that, but I've got there is zero, absolutely zilch expectations on this guy.
That time you signed Tevez and Mascherano.
Yeah, but I knew of Tevez then. I'm a nerd, right? So I knew of Tevez and Mascherano when we signed them, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe we've actually signed them. But it's almost like years ago, West Ham signed this player called Wellington Paulista from Brazil. He come from Cruzeiro. He was 26 at the time. He scored like 15 goals in the Brazilian league. No one ever heard of him. He held up a West Ham shirt, and that was effectively what he'd done. That was it. Played in the reserves.
Saying Harry Redknapp signed him, and that was the last time he saw him.
No, it was Sam Allardyce signing. That was. No,
Who was the guy that Harry Redknapp
Marco
signed,
Boogers. He's my friend on Facebook, Marco Boogers. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, he had his birthday recently or something. I think he turned 60 or something like that recently. Yeah, it's strange friend request, I must admit. But yeah, no, he's very much living a good and healthy lifestyle, and I think that caravan thing was a bit over exaggerated. You know what Harry Redknapp's like; he likes to tell in a story, doesn't he? Needs to get HMRC football on that and question it. So let's talk about Arsenal then. Arsenal could have done West Ham an even bigger favour by beating Nottingham Forest, but every fucking time, same old shit. What was Declan Rice alluding to, Rob?
I don't know. It's just been a topsy-turvy week. So we've drawn 2 games in the Premier League in a row, right? And fortunately, and I know Tabs is in the chat, so he'll add his 2 cents, I'm sure. But we drew with Liverpool and we drew with Forest. And in both of those games, my notes are, well, Liverpool particularly, it was just toothless football. It was painful. It was frustrating. I think against Forest, we were actually a little bit better. But Liverpool was one of the most frustrating games of football I think I've ever watched. It was so annoying because literally nothing happened. It was almost like no team really tried to win. Like, I think Liverpool probably had the better chances, and I know Arsenal could have won it, but it was almost like everyone was just kind of like, okay, well, we've got Chelsea next week, so we'll just we'll let you do your thing, and we'll just take the draw. And it was so annoying. And Forest, I thought we played better. It just didn't. Sometimes you watch games and you're watching it and you're thinking nothing is dropping for us. When you think like the ball just doesn't drop for the 50-50, or you don't get the 50-50 throw in or the 50-50 free kick, whatever. Yeah. It was one of those games where I don't think it was a bad game. I don't think it was done particularly badly. I think we could have had a penalty. That was a little bit annoying. I think that would have been given in a lot of other games.
Oh, with the handball with Anger, yeah.
Yeah, I really think that was I really do think that was a handball. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an Arsenal fan. I would have expected to see that given in a lot of games. So that was annoying. And you have to think that Gyökeres would have scored that goal I can't remember if he was still on the pitch, but whoever was taking the penalties would have probably scored that penalty. If Saka was on the pitch, he would have scored it, So I think that was probably the most annoying part of the game. But other than that, I don't remember watching it and being that annoyed or frustrated. It was just a bit meh. And so was Liverpool. And so that was annoying. I think that the thing that we can take away from it is that Aston Villa and Man City didn't capitalise, and we're sitting 7 points clear with about 16 games to play. They both lost 5 games, and last season Arsenal lost 4 and they came second. So it's hard to see Arsenal losing that many games between now and the end of the season. And you've got to think that Villa and City could lose more. Defensively, Man City are woeful. And at the moment, and I know they've just signed Gahey, so that will make them better, but that's one defender. They're not going to... There's too many issues across the whole defence. Gahey will improve them, but there's a lot of issues there defensively. At the moment, Haaland isn't playing well. but he could score 3 hat-tricks in a row in the next 3 games. So, but even then, can you see Arsenal dropping that many points? And even if they do, can you see them being overtaken by anyone at the moment? A couple of weeks ago, I would have said yes. This week, I'm a little bit more confident about winning the league. A couple of weeks ago, I thought, "Oh man, we're only 4 points clear, I think, and City are close. They're playing well," and it just doesn't look the same right now. They lost to Bodo Glimt the other night, 3-1, and they were losing before Rodri got sent off. I think Rodri's story is pretty sad. I think that injury against Arsenal. I think that injury against Arsenal has kind of has really hindered his career. I think, well, I mean, it's a fair point, but I think in the last 3 seasons, I think Arsenal didn't really bottle it last season because Liverpool just kind of swarmed it. I think the season before that, I think we were chasing City. And I think it was the season before that where we bottled it the most. I think it was the season 3 seasons ago when we should have won it. Last season we weren't even in the running, I don't think. And then the season before that it was close.
Yeah, I've just seen that. What's the chat there? And sacrificed his career for the betterment of Spurs. I don't know. Well, Spurs sacrificed him. I don't think he sacrificed his career. I think he was quite happy to stay there for season 3 because you always say about, you know what they say about sequels. There's always a third series or something. And
you really have to
him. Yeah,
you really
yeah. I'm not a Spurs fan, so I'm not afraid to the.
I think you said something about the follow-up season always being better or something like that.
Yeah. And I think maybe that they just pulled the trigger on it, and Thomas Frank was available, and they flashed their knickers. But Spurs have got history of doing that. Spurs have got a massive history of doing that. I mean, they had Nuno Espirito Santo, and they pretty much wanted Conte before they got him, and then Conte was like, "Oh no, I might be interested for the right money," and then they got him, sacked Nuno, and then that worked out well for them, didn't it? And they were no better off. But yeah, I think you're going to get a lot of stick here, Rob. Arteta sadly will break under the pressure again.
No, I mean,
in fairness, he's the only consistent manager in the Premier League. He's been in the job for more than 5 years. That, other than Pep, that has always been in contention to break under pressure. I don't see many managers being put into semi-finals on a regular basis, like Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what he's saying. I just don't. I don't think that. I think last season.
You're not happy about that comment either. It's hard.
No. I'm not reading it. To be fair, I'm not reading
it. Sorry.
I'm reading this to put them up, but I think last season. Yeah, no, I remember. I read that and I was like, oh yeah. That did remind me, but I don't. When I look back at Arsenal seasons, I don't ever really feel like Arteta choked or anything like that. If you look, I mean, the one 3 years ago, particularly, that was the one where I felt like we messed up. Man City were great the season after that, and we chased them, and we weren't good enough. And Liverpool blew everyone away last year. I don't think Arsenal choked it against PSG in the semi-finals of the Champions League. We were incredible. I think you've got to be in those positions to either win or lose, and someone has to win or lose. I don't think that we were bad. I think personally, Thomas Partey costed us, but that's neither here nor there because we didn't win. We showed up Real Madrid twice. Is that choking? I think it's a little bit.
I just think you just lost to probably one of the best teams in Champions League that season.
Yeah, they were.
PSG were phenomenal. Like the way they dismantled Inter Milan in the final, the biggest win ever in a final, Champions League final, and they won that Champions League. But to add to that, they also got to the final of the World Club Championship as well. So it wasn't as if they were you bottled it, and I just think PSG was just a better side on the over the two legs. They weren't earlier in the season, but they hit that form. It was like, bang, no, we're invincible, and that's they went on a fantastic run, didn't they?
I think the Aussie guy's a little bit committed to the Arsenal cause. Maybe worry about the problems at Spurs. But
that's fine, mate. Have you got them? You got any of them espresso cups left? Well, just asking.
But Arteta should have been sacked many times by now, 6 years and all that.
Even Dawes would have sacked. Even Dawes would have sacked Arteta by now. Dawes.
I think that's meant to be Spurs. He's probably typing on his phone.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But he will be May when we make the. Okay, you're talking about. All right, what are you the ghost of Christmas yet to come? You're talking about things that haven't happened. Get out.
Oh no, he's got. The thing is, it's good to see that. It's good to see the level of banter.
It's been over 20 years for you, and you're happy. As a United fan, we're embarrassed by our last 12 years. It's been over 20 years for you, and you're happy. Yeah, of course I'm happy. Of course I'm happy. What I don't know.
The thing is, you can see. I don't know if
there's what his comment is there, but I am happy. Of course, I'm happy. We've been great for the last. We've been really good, a really good footballing team since Arteta took over. I think Arsenal lost their. I do think Arsenal lost their footballing identity underneath Wenger. I don't think Emery had the time or the players, the morale of the players, to create a playing style like he has done under Villa. And Arteta came in and was given the keys and the lock and was allowed to do what he did. And what he did was basically empty out the locker room and go, right, you're my base. And there's a few there that he's still loyal to, and I'm glad of that. He's still loyal to the likes of Martinelli, who is coming good again this season. Saka goes without saying. Gabriel, he brought back Odegaard from his loan after his loan spell and made him his captain. I think I am happy. I think that he's created an identity and a fabric of the club that is very strong. And then. My comment: as you're not fans of a massive club, Arteta would be long gone as United gaffer.
Well, I get where he's coming from, because Man United is a global phenomenon. But you've only got one manager to thank for that, and that's Sir Alex Ferguson. Because before that, it was never in the contention of being a global phenomenon as Man United. But Arteta, if he gets given the same amount of time as Alex Ferguson, who's to say he can't emulate that? For Alex Ferguson, had what a tweet. Daniel, you'll be able to. Tell me how long Fergie was in charge for. But if you put Arteta in that same scope,
short memory, Daniel, because Ferguson was on the verge of being sacked until he won that Poxy Cup. So I don't know. I think.
And Arteta won his first cup in his first 6 months of being manager of Arsenal with someone else's players. So
to be fair, can I let me just say one of those things. One of the things Daniel does say that I do want to respond to. He said that Arteta would be long gone as United gaffer because as you're not fans of a massive club. At the time, Arsenal were not massive. They weren't. When Arteta took over, so Daniel, I'm with you on this. I think some of the other stuff you're saying is nonsense, but when Arteta took over at Arsenal, we were bang average. We weren't good. We were awful. The fans were disillusioned. We didn't like our ownership, starting to sound like United, and we were unhappy. So they brought in a manager that they decided to back and to back. And yes, he spent the money. But if you look at Arsenal, Man United now, those teams are unrecognisable. Arsenal are what Man United are supposed to be. And the reason why I can say that is because for the first time in your club's history, sir, you've dropped out the rich list. You're below everyone. You dropped out the rich list this year, mate. You're below Arsenal. You're below Liverpool. You're below City. You've dropped out of everything. You're not making the money and you're not that interesting. And I think that with Carrick coming in, I think that he will make, I think he'll free up Bruno and that'll make Bruno better. And I think that will make United better because I think Bruno is your best player. And I think that Carrick will steady the ship so that when whoever comes in, that hopefully you will back, and your fans won't throw wobbly, and won't moan about the ownership and the leaky roof again, that it will make Man United where they need to be going forward. But you are right in one thing, that we were bang average when Arteta took over, but we're not bang average now. And hopefully, because it's all ifs and buts, that will be demonstrated this season when we win some silverware.
Yeah. Rob, just a quick question. How many times have you not been in Europe as Arsenal and as a Premier League club? How many times have you not been in Europe?
We went through a patch, didn't we, after, I think, Wenger. I think we missed a few seasons there. I can't tell you how many seasons it was, though.
I thought Arsenal only were out of Europe for one or two seasons.
No, it was longer than that, I think.
Was it? I was going to say, because how long? Man United I think it's the first time they've been out of European football this season, and I think it's also the first time they've been knocked out all the cups very early on as well. So it's probably the shortest ever season that Man United have had, and they're talking about having mid-season friendlies abroad in America to help cover the costs of revenue.
Well, Man United are a global phenomenon, aren't they? So when they are not doing well, that is felt because they have one of the biggest.
It's fashion, isn't it? It's fashion because like Man United in the early 90s, 90s to early 2000s, they were the club. They were in films. You had celebs coming out, and they were always there in or abouts. And then I think fashion just kind of takes its task with, how can I put it, has its place in its certain time, because you've had your Liverpools, you've had your Man United, you've had your Chelseas of Roman Abramovich, you've had your Man Cities, and then it's like, well, is Arsenal going to come back and be a fashionable team again? Is Liverpool going to be a fashionable team again? I think Liverpool are the most profitable or commercial revenue wealthy English club now after Deloitte's Money League today that was announced.
That's the first time. That's the first time they've ever been top.
Yeah, so there is a tide. There is a tide changing, and sadly, this is down to
because I love those glory days. Listen, I love the days of Arsenal United, and I know United came out on top of that, and they won more Premier League titles. But that was like my childhood, so that was really exciting.
Yeah.
They got all the titles, and Arsenal got the unbeaten season, and that is the one thing that Fergie wanted. So there is something special about. Although Arsenal have only won 3 Premier League titles as opposed to Man United and Man City's plethora, there is that this kind of like almost ultimate trophy. But there is something nostalgic about it. As much as I hate them, I would like to see United be good again, because for me it would be like the romanticism of the Premier League, right? You get to enjoy what you enjoyed when you were a kid. So I think that it would be good. It'd probably be good financially for the Premier League if Man United stopped sucking, because it would bring more money, because they are the biggest money drawer in world football.
When you mean stop sucking, you mean stop being bad, or do you mean?
Yeah, no, definitely stop being bad.
Being in bed with Premier League. Yeah, no, I'll get you now.
Yeah. No.
When you said that, I just didn't want to start a debate in the chat. So.
No.
What do you mean? We're not sucking off anyone? No, that's not what he meant.
So this guy's desperate for me, man.
No, well, that's good. It's a good debate.
Yeah, 12 draws and 0 losses, mate. So yeah.
And that's something else. Well, didn't you go unbeaten 46 games, wasn't it? Or something
yeah,
like
it was longer. We lost it at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
No, it was 48. I think it was 49. I don't know. We lost it at Old Trafford anyway.
Oh yeah, you almost hit 50, didn't you? And 40. Yeah, it was 49. Yeah, but you were robbed in that game. To be fair, with Rooney diving and
it was a horrible game. But there's also that element of it was like it was off its time. You wouldn't see games like that, and you don't see games like that anymore.
You don't see the that rivalry anymore. That you don't even see the intensity of that game happening anymore because it's almost a foregone conclusion, isn't it?
They all like each other. That's why I kind of like the rivalry with Newcastle at the moment, because none of us like each other on that. No one likes each other there. Like, I love to hate playing Newcastle because at least it's got a bit about it. Whereas games now, people are shaking hands and cuddling each other. I used to like seeing Roy Keane and Vieira go at it. It was fun. It made you rile up before the game. You were like, yeah, go on, get him, or whatever whatever you're saying. Anyway, that we massively.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good.
But
Daniel, thanks for your comments, mate. Keep them coming. It's good.
Yeah,
this is the sort of interaction we've been lusting for a long time.
Thank you, both of you. But so Milan
and Aussie Ange, sorry,
Aussie Ange and Daniel. Thank you to both of you. All right, so Milan, we smashed and humbled them. Jesus rose again. And he got two good goals. Did
he score on the end of a cross?
What he did. But what I liked about him is they were poachers' goals, and it was nice to see us an Arsenal. I was talking to this about this to Callum. It was nice to see an Arsenal striker scoring a poaching goal. So we saw two of those effectively, I think, and then we saw. The Eucharist goal was good. I thought the Eucharist goal was pretty decent. I actually thought Milan's goal was the best goal of the game, but I do think Eucharist's was pretty. I thought the Eucharist goal was pretty decent, but that was almost a whole squad rotation. And stop lying, you ain't got no wife and kids.
Whose wife and kids?
You should let them go now.
Could be anyone's.
Let them free, Daniel. It's very frowned upon. But yeah, so I've lost my train of thought now. But that's what I was saying.
Okay.
That's not nice. I feel like I've.
What was he talking to, me or you?
I'm blonde, mate.
Strawberry blonde.
I am not strawberry blonde. You can fuck off. We pretty much changed our whole side, and we still beat Milan. I know that we bought players on, but the game was already won. So that was great. Look, we got United at the weekend, and I think with Carrick, I think they're going to be massively, massively better. And they were better. They were the better team against City. City have got no defense, but that does not mean that they are not dangerous going forward. And man, Maguire was incredible. And he's much maligned. He doesn't get as much love as he deserves, but him and Martinez were incredible against City. Kept Haaland quiet, which makes me wonder whether Arteta will start Eucharist. If I'm being honest, he might go for more like a false nine and maybe start Jesus. I could see that against United if you're going to go tough with Maguire and Martinez. You might someone who's a bit faster. So I think that it's going to be a tough game of football. We should win because we're at home. But we have been a bit goal shy in the league, which makes me wonder whether he'll mix it up a little bit. Our record against Man United is sensational over the last few years.
Is that who you got this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. I can see why the Man United fans piped in.
Yeah. So, but we beat United away at the beginning of the season. That was a close game. We were quite lucky there. It was Eucharist's first game. It was woeful, really. We got that lovely goal from Calafiori. We took it and we ran with it. We don't normally win at Old Trafford, so it was nice to get. Last season we drew there. 1-1. We beat them 2-0. We beat them 1-0. We beat them 3-1. We haven't lost in 6, and our last loss was in 2022 against United. So statistically, the numbers are good. And like I said, we should beat them. But they're going to be buoyed after beating Man City, and they're going to want to have a say. I do think we'll beat them. I think we'll concede. So I think we'll win 2-1. I think we'll concede against this team. I do. I think Bruno is a wonderful footballer. In fact, he's probably, in my opinion, I think he's probably the only Man United player who could make Arsenal's team right now. And I really do mean that. I think he is that good that I think even as he's getting older, I still think he's probably better than Odegaard. I think the only thing that Odegaard has over him is that Odegaard is a better presser and he fits Arteta's system. Whereas I don't think Bruno would. But having said all of that, I think Bruno is a wonderful footballer and I think he'll have something to say. So I think we'll win 2-1 because I think we'll be too good for them in set pieces anyway. And I think we'll find
it your place or United's?
We're at home.
All right, okay. I think you'll draw. I think you'll draw 1-1.
A draw wouldn't be the worst result in the world.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But it would be annoying if it was free. It would be 3 draws in a row.
I could just see it.
With that I hear what you're saying, Daniel, but he's not. And Mbeumo would have to play on the left because he's not better than Saka. I'm sorry, he's not. I think Mbeumo is a better footballer than say Martinelli or Trossard, but and I wish we had got him in the summer, but there's no way he's coming in to play second fiddle to Saka, and I just don't think he's better than Saka. So. Yeah, but we're not losing either. So, I think sometimes you can stat press too much. Arsenal system is winning them games, and the players have to contribute to the system for the system to work. So while Saka isn't maybe getting all of the goals and assists, he's still doing the pressing that's leading up to the goals and the assists. And I just think I think when we individualize it too much, it can become, it can be misleading. And the reason why I'll say that, I'll use Bruno Fernandes as an example. Since Bruno Fernandes signed in the Premier League, I don't think there is anyone who has been involved in more goals than Bruno Fernandes, right? But Man United haven't done anything in the league, and so I just don't agree with you on that.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I don't think he's average at all. I'm a West Ham fan, so there's always that comparison between Saka and Bowen, and we do it as a bit of banter. Like, Bowen's a fantastic player, but Saka he's just got that bit. Has just got that bit about him that's just that bit extra class, and you can always rely on him to get to pull something out of the game when you need it. I mean, he proved that when you played Real Madrid in the quarterfinals of Champions League, and literally stepped up, took the abuse, and showed everyone what it was about. And I think the thing with Saka, I think something that will never rub off on him is that Euro 2020 final, where he got pulled down by Chiellini, missed the penalty, and I think that would always be overshadowed him. And I think his performance is always questioned on when he was 18 years old back then.
I think it was the best thing.
I think it's a bit unfair. Yeah.
I think it was the best thing that ever happened to him. Actually, I think he had been pretty untouchable up until that point. Everything he did turned to gold, and he got humbled by a 35-year-old Chiellini, I think.
Experience got better of him. That was it. If he was going to put him down on the halfway line, because he knew he knew he'd beat him for pace, it was like, I'm going to bring him down, take a yellow card. And what happened? They won the trophy because of it. Maybe if England took a bit of dark arts to their game, they'd be World Cup champions by now. They're not. So, but yeah, that's the thing. Again, I'd love to agree with you, Dan, but I can't. I can't. I don't think Bowen gets in any of the top 6 sides in England. I don't think he. I don't think he gets in. He doesn't get in.
Do you mean
He
like
might get in Spurs.
Do you mean the current 6, or do you mean?
I think the big. I think let's go big 6. Let's go big 6. I mean, there's a lot of flirtation with Bowen and Spurs. I can't see that happening because they've got Kudus. They won't buy him. He won't get in Arsenal's. He won't get in Man United's. He won't get in Liverpool's. He won't get in Man City's. And he won't get in Chelsea's.
I don't think you get in Man United's team.
No, I don't.
You think Mbeumo's better?
Yeah, I do. I do think Mbeumo's better than Bowen.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think
Yeah,
that.
fair enough. I don't have an opinion. I think Mbeumo's a great footballer, and I think Bowen's a great footballer. So,
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter.
I love Bowen. I generally do, but he's not a big 6 player. Sadly, as much as I'd like to boast that he is, but he plays for West Ham. He's West Ham's captain. He's a few goals shy of Mikel Antonio and beating his record, but he'll never get in a big 6 team on a regular basis. It just won't happen. I could see him. If I had this chat with my dad the other day, actually, like if we did sell him, where would he go to? I could actually see him going to like Bayern Munich. That sort of ilk.
Daniel's got a point though. Who replaces Salah? Because Bowen could replace Salah.
I just think they've got their eye on someone different, someone younger. But they could probably go to Bayern Munich and say that how much do you want for Elise?
Yeah, they probably could.
Yeah, because they've got the money to do it, and then Bayern Munich will go and buy someone older.
Bowen.
Bowen, yeah. But yeah, they could go and get someone like Elise. They could go. I'm just trying to think of other players. Yamal. I mean, he's been muted, hasn't he? They could probably, they could go out and get anyone they wanted. Really, I just don't think if they're going to spend 150
a little bit, he's making some good points.
I can't disagree with it.
He started. He was like this. Now he's
he's one of us. He's one of us. He's a husband and got kids as well. Oh, bless it. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll sympathise with him now. I'll be their mate. It's all right. That's fine, Dad. No, I think they can. I think they can afford Elise. I think they can afford him. I'll tell you for why. Because they'll sell Salah to Saudi Arabia for something stupid like 60 million quid. They've freed up 400 grand's worth of wages.
Yeah.
Of course we are. And I think they could afford him. If they can afford to get... Bear in mind who they've got Isak, they've got Ekatike, they've got Florian Wirtz. But they spent money this season because they didn't the season before when they won the league.
Yeah. And they're still running deep in the Champions League, so they're going to get more money for that. Yeah. You've got to think Liverpool have got the legs to go quite far in the Champions League. So they are going to have money. They're probably, they haven't lost in 14 or something like that. So they're going to finish relatively well in the league as well. You have to think maybe in the top. They're going to qualify for the Champions League, you'd suspect. So.
Well, I'm gonna go and do a bit of homework here now. Like, keep talking. I'm just gonna have a look and see who could be the most Salah replacement.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, then.
That is Anthony Gordon.
He plays. Yeah. He plays on the
left.
And
he's a scouser, isn't he?
He plays on the left.
Yeah, he does. Dembele.
I think Anthony Gordon could end up at Arsenal, actually.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
I could see that
Could they go and get Mason Greenwood?
Oh, no, they wouldn't do that. I don't think Liverpool would do that, no.
Looking at the other ones here.
He is a
Liverpool fan. Yeah.
He is a Liverpool fan, Daniel, but I just don't see him going there now because
But he's also Scottish, but plays for England. So,
mm.
so
you could see him going to Arsenal. I really can see that. I wouldn't be surprised if he went to Liverpool, in fairness, but I could just see him going to Arsenal and playing on the left. I really could. I think his temperament would need work if he was going to play for Arsenal.
I'm just looking at other.
You triggered Daniel there. No, we shouldn't be talking about Mason Greenwood. He's right. Yeah, no, I think he's right also, though. I mean, thing is, what
I forgot he was Man United. Yeah, sorry, mate.
But, I think we need to be talking about Liverpool's defence, actually. If they're going to be anything next season, if they're going to improve next season, they are going to have to do something about that central defence. Konate's going to leave for a free. He thinks he's going to Real Madrid. He's not. He is not Real Madrid level. Van Dijk is done. And that was starting to show towards the end of last season, but it's really shown this season. And I think he's kind of he's not a bad footballer, obviously, but I kind of think like he's living a little bit of his aura, of his presence, because a lot of his other stuff has failed him now. So they're going to need to get a defensive partnership. I think they're going to be private. Excuse me. Yeah, no, I can agree with that. Mason Greenwood is a fantastic footballer there. Daniel, he is a really good footballer. But that doesn't mean he is not a good person. I think Liverpool privately would be gutted that they have lost out on Gahey.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
they almost signed him, didn't they? They almost signed him, but they couldn't get a replacement for him.
I think they will be gutted that they did not get Gahey, because who are they getting? I can't think. Who are they getting in the Premier League right now? I kind of like that Arteta has done good business in the Premier League. He's bought good players within the Premier League that have either provided depth or have made his starting 11 better, right? Declan Rice, Trossard, those types of players. But then you've also got the likes of Madueke and even Eze to an extent, right, who are making the whole squad just better, if not the starting 11. So I kind of like what he's done, but you can't. It's hard to look at Liverpool and go, who are they buying? They might try and buy Van de Ven.
Yeah, if they got 100 million for him.
Yeah, but they've spent 100 million freely a couple of times, so they could. And Van de Ven makes Kerkez and Frimpong better straight away, and it probably gives Van Dijk another season.
Yeah, there's that. But then they could go and buy back Kwanzaa from Bayer Leverkusen, couldn't they? Would
you want to? Would you go back to Kwanzaa?
Well, I don't know. Maybe if he's developed and he's got better, I think they're second in the Bundesliga, aren't they? Bayer Leverkusen, not too sure. Yeah, and it's I say it's hard. It's hard, isn't it? I just thought of another name that could replace Mohamed Salah, and that is Mohamed Kudus.
No, I can't see that.
If Spurs ain't doing well, and Kudus is known to throw these toys out the pram, is he wanted Liverpool. He desperate for Liverpool in the summer. They didn't come in for him because they were spending money elsewhere, and they still had Salah, so they were like, we're not going to get him. I think if Liverpool went in for him, I think he'll go. And he'll want to go.
Yeah.
That'll be, and then Spurs will be like, oh, we got your star boy. And like, oh shit, he ain't going to be around for long. So
I don't think Liverpool would look at him and think, yeah, that's the guy that we want, to be honest. I just don't. I don't think they would look at him and think, yeah, let's get that guy in.
Yeah, anyway, we'll digress. But score predictions for West Ham Sunderland. So what are you thinking, Rob?
Are you at home?
We are at home, yeah.
I think it will be a 1-1 draw.
1-1, okay. We're going to win 1-0 and close that gap this weekend.
Okay. And then, like I said, I think we will just beat United 2-1. And I think it will be just. I think Bruno Fernandes is going to be wonderful in that game.
Yeah.
I really do. I think unless Declan Rice and Zubimendi really do a number on him, I think he's going to play really well. So I reckon a draw. You reckon a win, and Daniel's got Sunderland. What's your score, Daniel? That'll be good to know before we wrap up for the evening.
Yeah, we're going to leave it there, and no, I'll wait for him to message it, and then I just think we'll win 1-0. I think we're still reading 13-0. There you go. I think we're due for.
That only happened once. That only happened once, and that was at Old Trafford. I don't think it'd happen again.
Yeah. All right, then. Well, we'll cut it there. Anyway, thanks, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much. Take care.
I'm going to play this song before going out again. So go follow it, Joseph Jones.
I'll follow you through bad and good, on terraces of faded dreams. You'll never take the east end out of me and you. Bleed claret and blue on any day the irons play. You'll never take the east end out.
Oh, la, on the cheer, and we spill a bit of beer. Raise a glass to the past and the mates who ain't here. From Highbury to Upton Park, it's now Ashburton and Stratford for a lark. It's the Old Dad's Our Job podcast, the heart of the game.